Welcome back, and it's time for our special address on the topic diversity, equity, inclusion, and employee wellness. The roads we must cross. Well, this is the topic, and to deliver some insightful information, I would now request the Executive Director and CHRO, Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages Private Limited, introducing Mr. Indrajit Sengupta.
Thank you, Ankita. Appreciate this invite and glad to be talking to everyone. It's a very interesting topic for everyone who's listening in, as well as it's an opportunity for all of us, including myself, to learn about what's going on in the world around us. And specifically because in today's world where there are 115,000 cases being reported on a daily basis, and that's the COVID number as I read, and it's astonishing at the extent of this disease that is spreading all over. The whole concept of diversity, inclusion, and wellness is taking on a completely new look and feel, I would say. And there is a lot more work to be done in the changing circumstances, which is very different. And I think the fundamental piece for every one of us, which is getting tested, is both resilience as well as agility all at the same time. And I don't think as a community of HR practitioners or as even business professionals, we've been tested for resilience and agility in this kind of a pace at any given point in time in the past. So let me just touch upon a few things that are very important, and I'll break down my discussion, and that is why I didn't want to put a presentation on, into two parts. One is a little bit about what we have done so far and our journey, and then what is the road ahead for us, because truly there are a lot of bridges that we need to cross and a lot of new roads that we have to create. So at Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages, we are the largest company-owned bottling partner, which is in India. India is one of the largest markets for Coke. We are the fifth largest market for them globally. We aspire to be the third largest market in course of time. COVID did put a brake on some of those aspirations, but those aspirations are not changing. And I think with India being such an important part of the whole Coca-Cola system, we truly believe that India inside Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages is the best way we can describe what we want to eventually achieve as a company focused on inclusion. And Coca-Cola globally has been very, very focused on inclusion. In the many years since this company started out, we have never had gender representation going beyond 8.5%. And we can always in some ways say, well, pat yourself on the back and say, well, we are a selling company, we are a manufacturing company, we have over 15 manufacturing plants, our associates are spread all across India in sales. And there are so many companies which are like us. So that's one way of saying we can continue to be as we are. And we made some very strong decisions and implemented them starting sometime in 2018, second half of the year. The business was doing well. And I think that was one of the reasons to also push for those changes, because you tend to have a lot more energy at that point in time than when, the chips are down. And so between 2018 and 19, among the things that we looked at was what should we do from a leadership standpoint. And the whole story of inclusion, of mental wellness and so on does not find traction until you find traction at the top. And so within our senior leadership team, we appointed someone who would be the one who essentially, while we called the position as Chief of Diversity and Inclusion, the real role of this individual was to keep banging the desk every time on each and every issue that related to inclusion in a way that brought attention to everything. And that included looking at data, analytics, individual feedback, survey reports, and many of the things that we were gathering information at any given point in time. What it helped us do was create a lot of energy, created a council which was chaired by the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, which therefore helped in many ways as an infrastructure which was necessary to take the agenda forward. So I think the first one was setting that right infrastructure. The second is that agenda and the ambition of who we wanted to be as a company focused on inclusion. The third piece was obviously about a lot of communication and finding role models that everyone aspired to be. And it was a place that we could really very happily call is that where women and men led, and women and men would also follow. And I think that was a very important part of the communication at an overall level that we used to reach out to every single individual to make diversity and inclusion a way of working. And while we were making those changes, we saw gender representation go up significantly by 3% in 1 year, which is something that we had never achieved in over 20 years. And that gave us the confidence to move forward. And then came COVID. And COVID brought a completely different, situation for us, where folks are going through an enormous amount of anxiety, a significant amount of challenges of leading from a distance because we were no longer in offices. Plants were working at a certain capacity, not fully. Not all of our, sales and marketing teams were in the field. They just couldn't be. And it's kind of bringing us back to the same thing that we had about a year ago. But the things that we really focused on was to put a lot of effort behind thinking around where the energy came from. And for all of us, the energy is all about mental energy. It's about physical energy. It's also about emotional energy. And we felt that all of these were getting drained out as we started our journey. So we did take a couple of steps back. We did a lot of work around our digital initiatives, one of which was focused on learning, but we also introduced something called a wellness hour, which was to start conversations around health and wellness. We focused a lot of our efforts on digital health, which basically meant, talking about issues that impact everyone. We spoke a lot about our partnership with the employee assistance programs and made it more available to everybody. The third piece we also spoke about more drastically was to see how do you change the behavior of everyone when all of us are working from a distance and working from remote locations. Because remember, the other thing that also happened for us was we introduced our policy of work from anywhere. And except for plants and except for factory locations, essentially everyone could work from anywhere. And that brought us to the other important part where we introduced digital health as a tool. And today that has been rolled out to include everyone because we believe that technology tends to be one of the biggest enablers in defining and changing behavior across the whole company. So that became a very big important pillar for how we went about addressing health, wellness, fitness as mandatory things. Along with it, we have also made changes in our policies. So we continue to keep looking out for things that we can do for the LGBTQ community, for veterans, and for the differently abled. And today we are getting towards looking at those as talent pools as well that we need to include, bring them on board. And again, also now start looking at, as new cases of COVID is emerging, pushing back the whole idea that we will ever go back to our offices in the same old way as we were used to. We are now starting to relook at multiple things that we do around wellness. So among the things that we feel associates are missing out on from time to time is how do you connect with anybody if you want it for some time? And everyone is getting more and more digitally stuck to a screen. So we hope that in course of time, as the cases start to reduce, we will use our offices for a lot more social environment than for the usual way of bringing a laptop and making it work, which therefore means addressing difficult conversations, getting to do brainstorming, many of these things which are, very simple things that we do, but they have a huge impact as far as the emotional well-being of our associates are concerned, because these are some of the things that we feel every one of us is lacking. We are not lacking in our ability to do the work sitting in front of a screen, using different tools that we now have available. But what we are missing out sometimes is this linkage with a human connect. So we are trying to introduce some of those programs and redesigning some of our offices to be able to address that. Last but not the least, I think that's a very big part that we still have a lot of work to do, is addressing the mental health issue from a leadership standpoint, is by driving a lot of self-care and self-care for leaders themselves. Because if the leaders themselves don't exhibit the same behaviors, we will not be able to drive the same behavior change among our associates. So some of the programs that we are also planning to look at is around sensitization, and also making many of these programs available either through emails or through individual person-to-person connect with coaches and counselors who can help not only the leadership team but also help the rest of the company as we have been doing. So in a nutshell, I will still say that there's a lot of work that has been done. We are very happy with the progress that we have made. We still feel that as a community, there is still a lot of work that we continue to do, and there are a lot more opportunities to do. So I'll leave you with some of those thoughts. I know that we've been running behind a schedule as well. So I will leave this open to anyone if there are any questions, or for the moderator to ask anything that they have. And thank you for listening.